discussing the internal structure of a dicot stem, we again start from the periphery, that is from the epidermis towards the innermost part, that is the pith. So, when we are, I have taken two diagrams. You all please make sure that you understand that both these diagrams are the same diagram. Just see that this triangular portion which I have cut is this portion or this enlarged view. We can very well see all the structures which are present. So we will start from the outermost layer, that is the epidermis. Epidermis is again consisting of the single layered structure which is protective in nature and has compactly arranged parenchymatous cells present. The parenchymatous cells are living cells and they can grow and give rise to the hair cells also. So epidermal hair cells are formed when some of the epidermal cells, they grow extensions on its outside. After the formation of these epidermal cells, there can be few more things which can be formed on the epidermis. There can be presence of glandular cells. These glandular cells will secrete resins or some other gum and other sticky substances from the outside, so they can be present at that place. Other than that, there can be presence of continuous spines all out the throughout the structure. You may have seen some of the young stems which have presence of spinous outer covering on the entire stem. And when the stem, they are very young, at that time they are green in color. So because of the presence of green color, there is also photosynthesis occurring. And one more thing is there, that is presence of stomata in case of these cells. So in the stem, at when the stem is very young, we can find the presence of stomata at the outermost layer. And inner to the epidermis, there is presence of a cuticle layer in case of dicot stem. This cuticle layer has the presence of that stomata which was talking about. Cuticular stomata is present in this case, and through that stomata, again, the movement of water molecules outside and movement of oxygen outside can take place, whereas movement of carbon dioxide inside the plant will also occur through the same stomatal pore. And we can also see this is just about the outermost layer. So outermost layer consists of the epidermal hair, epidermis, and then the cuticle. It also has presence of glandular tissue within it, which will secrete the resins or latex or any gum or sticky substance. And it will also provide protection. Because of presence of cuticle, cuticular stomata is present, and exchange of gases can occur through the same pore. Now, inside layer or inside to epidermis is presence of cortex, which is seen in the circular diagram but not in the longer diagram or the elongated diagram. So in the elongated diagram, please remember that sorry, it's quite long. This entire structure from collenchyma till the parenchyma is the cortex. Now, in case of diacots, we see that the differentiation of this layer of cortex takes place. Cortex gets differentiated into two distinct layers. One is the hypodermis, which is seen in the circular diagram, and inner to it is the cortex. So, this parenchymatous cells which are present over here, this is the cortex region for sure. What about the other part? I'll just write cortex once again. And inside that green layer or the collenchyma cells, they are the hypodermis area. Hypodermis consists of specialized cells which have presence of chloroplast within it, and because of the presence of chloroplast, photosynthesis occurs in those cells. Collenchyma cells has presence of large amount of food particles or starch grains or even water molecules within it, and they help in the process of photosynthesis. So in this way, we see that the second layer, that is the cortex, is differentiated into cortex and hypodermis. So hypodermis at first, then inside layer is the cortex, which is again parenchymatous in nature with large amount of intracellular spaces within itself. Inner to it is presence of single layered endodermis, and in case of the diacots, we do not see the presence of Casparian strip in the stem. Please remember, Casparian strip is lacking in case of the stem of diacots. And Again, the endodermis has barrel-shaped cells. The cells are closely arranged. They have presence of starch grains within this endodermis. And please remember, this is very important. Starch starch grains, because of the presence of starch grains, this endodermis layer is also known as the starch sheath. So that is the only difference from the normal cells. Other than the endodermis, the innermost layers, again, it will consist of the vascular bundles. And in case of diacots, we see that the inside layer of endodermis is again a thin layer of pericycle. So this dicotyledonous stem has presence of pericycle in between the endodermis and the vascular bundles. So a layer of endodermis you will be able to see, and these pericycle is, again, you have an idea, it is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue, and because of presence of sclerenchymatous tissue, they are dead tissue and highly lignified. So it provides harder outer structures of the tracheids and vessels, and even the sieve tubes. So these hardened structures are made up of these pericycle sclerenchymatous tissues differentiation. Inner to it is presence of vascular system. Vascular system again consists of two specialized cells, xylem and the phloem. But in case of the vascular system, here it can be like the arrangement is as such that it has presence of phloem, which is blue colored. In inside to the phloem is presence of cambium, and cambium is a meristematic tissue which will give rise to both the xylem and phloem cells. And as the cells they grow in such a way that both the things like phloem will be also differentiated and will be formed, and cambium will go on stretching its size. Similarly, the phloem's thickness will go on increasing, and even the protoxylem will be formed every time the cell is enlarging towards the center. The exarch condition is seen in case of these kind of plants, the dicot stems. And in the dicot stems, when there is exarch condition taking place, exarch, again, I hope you all remember that protoxylem is towards the periphery and towards the center is the presence of metaxylem. So that was the condition for the exarch condition. So anyways, we will be also discussing about the cells which are present in between both these vascular bundles, which are these two. There is presence of these kind of cells. These cells are known as the medullary rays. They are primary medullary rays and are formed of parenchymatous areas, and these areas are important because they provide food and water to the plant. Innermost area is the pith, which is centrally located and has present and is hollow, containing the parenchymatous cells. And these parenchymatous cells have intercellular spaces in between them. So this is all about the structural differentiation of the dicot stem. We will start from outer layer, move till the inner part, and we will see the arrangement of vascular bundles in the center. The vascular bundles are as such arranged. Here, few of the portions are very important, like the lacking of Casparian strip. Then the epidermis is specified. Again, the cuticle layer is there. Every step you have to be very precise when you are learning it. Learned in a diagrammatic way, it's quite easier for recapitulation.